I do not mean in this segment to indict everybody who is a defender of Andrew Tate. I do mean to indict Andrew Tate. He is, in all likelihood, a very, very vicious trafficker of human beings and a abuser of the bodies of women and girls. And speaking for me, I have no tolerance for a guy who goes around bragging about this. And he did. And I get it that there are people who will say, and this is the take very often, hey, look, we need fighters. Tate's a conservative. He's a fighter. He's not perfect, but we need him. God can either bless this movement or not. God does not need Andrew Tate. God doesn't need you, and God does not need me. So we want God to be able to bless this movement. And if you're not a Christian, okay, fair enough. I would ask you what exactly you're conserving if you're conservative, not a Christian. The Constitution, okay. The Constitution is a document that states the reason your Second Amendment right and mine is unalienable is because it comes from God. Remove God, all of a sudden the Constitution is a really well-written series of wishes and thoughts and theories of people. So when other people come along and they say, our theories are better and more thought out, or better thought out, they can win. Unless you have God Almighty who said, no, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. I gave you that in the Garden of Eden. You chose not to pursue happiness, but to pursue trying to make yourself into me, but that's why I gave you free choice. So I don't believe God can continue to bless a movement that is adopting people like Andrew Tate. I'm sorry, I don't. And I get as well that he's a very, very good speaker. He's eloquent. He is in great shape physically. He is able to put off the scent of masculinity. But I don't believe in toxic masculinity because I don't think it's masculinity to traffic in human beings. I think it's predatory. I think it's satanic. But I did do a piece about Tate, and I got some responses, and I want to share that with you. They were YouTube responses, and I'll share that with you in just a second. But whenever I talk about Andrew Tate, I just feel the need to scrub my body clean, and my mind too, but it's easy to do with your body because you can use soap. Now, this is a fact, and you can argue with me if you like, but you lose. You're going to use soap for the rest of your life unless you intend to be alone forever. Because in modern society, we wash our bodies. And secondly, not washing your body leads to disease eventually. So you are probably buying soap from a company that probably makes it in China and may well include people who'd rather not be doing that job and are forced to do that job, Uyghurs and such. Okay? That's probably what's going on. And if it's not, you're probably buying soap from a company that uses a ton of chemicals or donates money to causes you don't like. You're almost certainly not buying soap from a company whose mission is to employ the unemployable. Kids and young people who the rest of the world would say, hey, look, just put them in an institution. Because that is exactly what people said about Alan from Alan Soap. They, first of all, when he was in the womb, they said to John and his wife, why don't you let us, end the clump of cells? And they said, no, this is our boy. Alan is now 13. He's been through 18 operations. He's effectively nonverbal, but that does not mean he's not brilliant. He is a brilliant kid. He invents fragrances of soap, and he does the hard work of packaging and quality control. We now have made enough money at Alan's, or John has, that Ian works there. That's Alan's brother. He's also affected by autism. Amy now works there. She got late onset autism. And the soap, by the way, is all natural. It's made in America by a family with 3 generations of soap making expertise. So there's no one working on this because they're forced to. There's people who love the work and are blessed to have it. So go to allensoaps.com/Todd. That's allensoaps.com/Todd. You get 10% off all their products there. And you're supporting a company that you almost certainly agree with. allensoaps.com/Todd. These are some of the people who wrote to me, people and or bots. The first one's a person, Elliot. I made a very simple statement about Andrew Tate. He doesn't belong anywhere near a lever of power. Very simple. He shouldn't be near the White House. And the White House should just disown, just come out and say he's not a good guy. He's probably a trafficker, etc. Elliot writes, the issue is even simpler. He's an overconfident, cocky loudmouth using irony, hyperbola, and a dark brand of humor to make his points and provoke the wider public to think for themselves. His court case in Romania basically went down the toilet after years of trying to find a single credible victim or piece of evidence, which at least for now equals innocent. All his kids and their mothers live in luxury, abundance, and safety, while by no means I happen to praise his family model or lifestyle choices. The Muslim thing has been calmly explained over and over again. Christianity projects too much weakness by allowing itself to be constantly mocked and offended worldwide. Okay, let's go in reverse order. The Muslim thing has been explained calmly. Okay, so he chose to be a Muslim because Jesus Christ is weak. Andrew Tate is a fighter of some, I guess, repute, and he couldn't last 1 second on the cross. He would dissolve. People have such a misunderstanding of what the cross was. All of God's rage for all sin that had ever occurred or ever will occur rained down on one human being in those hours on the cross. There's not a human being aside from Jesus who could have lived through that ever. And only one human being overcame death, fully God, fully human. And it allows itself to be mocked. Hey, God will not be mocked. You think you're mocking him. I mean, think of this. When the religious authorities put, unalived Jesus, they thought, we won. And Satan's like, hey, take that, God. Look at me mocking you. And God said, read the fine print. I will not be mocked. So the world changed because of Christianity. So Andrew Tate prefers to belong to a religion where if you question its founder or create a cartoon of him, that people will unalive you. Where a religion where it is often okay to treat women as chattel. Oh, I get it. All his kids and their mothers live in luxury and abundance. Oh, good, but they don't have a dad. Which one would you choose? Abundance. That's an interesting phrase. Abundant money, but no dad. I think I'd choose a dad. I work with young guys, and some of them come from very wealthy homes. And one of their big complaints is, it's not even a complaint because they love their dads and they respect them. But one of their deep sources of sadness is, I never see my dad. I don't really have a dad. The case in Romania, we'll get to that. He's using irony to get people to think for themselves. Okay. I don't need his help. Thinking for myself. Secondly, he's thinking with his own wisdom. The better job we do of not thinking for ourselves, the better we do. The better we do at having God do our thinking, the better we do. Now, this came from something that's probably a bot, M.M-B71. Please check out the interviews and collect your own information. Tate is not a bad guy. Nobody has to like him, but the law needs to be fair. Check out the interviews. Okay, let's check out a brief period of an interview with Andrew Tate, since we were cautioned to do that by what is probably a bot account.
But it's kind of incredible. I don't know if the people who hate me are stupid or if they just want to hate me and not use their brain.
Right.
But when a famous person is attacked with these kind of accusations, loads of victims come forward. Name anyone. Hundreds of victims, new lawsuit, victims. I'm 3.5 years in with the most media spin of any case ever without a single girl coming forward. Every girl they get hold of is like, nah, he's nice. I like him. I like Andrew. I defended you, baby. Can I see you? Yeah. No one's against me.
Yeah, there are 49 victims. 11 victims have given statements against Tate and the brothers in their true Romanian cases and are classified as injured parties. An injured party is a victim and has suffered material or immaterial harm. 4 UK women have brought a civil case against Andrew Tate for misusing their bodies. Several of these women have given interviews. And a 15-year-old who He's charged with impressing his lustly desires upon. In his second Romanian case, gave a statement that I will not read because it involves horrible physical treatment of a child. And the source materials in the link notes, or the show notes, if you want to look at it. Just know it involves that. This comes from the Daily Star, reporting on Andrew Tate. Headline, Pure Kinky or Pure Sick? BB Andrews' hardcore vids exposed, and reason Big Bro axed him. Big Brother star Andrew Tate has been exposed in 2 videos, repeatedly admitting to hitting women. And at the link, you can apparently watch Andrew Tate hit women. So I will say again, God doesn't need Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate chose Islam because he says Christians are weak. And by reference then, or inference, then Jesus Christ is and was weak, meaning God is weak. We don't need him. More importantly, I don't think God can bless our movement when we start turning to guys like this to help propel our movement.